Hello, hello, hello. It is Regina Coley, and you are inside the Called to Cultivate Masterclass. This class is for anyone who wants to create your own youth based community program or improve upon a current youth based community program. This can be both nonprofit, for profit, an after school academy, a Saturday academy, programs that are offered in school, in communities, and in churches. So for me, I've been doing this for about 7 years with my own organization, Leading Ladies of Legacy. And I can just really think back to those very humble beginnings, right? So I'm thinking back to some of the events and some of the activities that I had planned where I was literally the only person sitting there with all of my decorations, all my drinks, all my snacks, waiting for somebody to show up. And the reason that people were not showing up is because, there were, a couple of factors. One, we were new. Two, I didn't really create excitement about my program. I was extremely excited about it, but I hadn't really created a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement and really, really honed in and focused on marketing. Marketing was not my strong suit. And I kind of went in kind of doe-eyed, like I think a lot of entrepreneurs do, where it's like, if I build it, they will come. And that's a really, really common myth that I really want to dispel for a lot of people. Just because you built it does not mean that they will come. Just because you say that you went and got a piece of paper that says that you're a 501c3 or that you're a corporation or a nonprofit in your state, does not mean that you will automatically have people who will just jump out for your program just because you created it. And sometimes we kind of mix those faith messages where it's like, just take a leap of faith, just jump out there and do it. And while I do encourage you to jump out and really, take a hold of your dreams, let's go for gold, I do want you to also understand that we can't just start out struggling. There has to be a strategy. So in the Call to Cultivate Masterclass, that's a huge part of what we focus in on, is moving from struggling to strategy, because I struggled in the beginning, struggled with communicating a message on what is it that I do. And I know that people were confused because people would often ask me, is this like Girl Scouts? Well, is it like this or is it like that? And when people have to question after you've just given your whole spiel, then you really were not very clear in what it is that you want to do. And clarity, lack of clarity, as we know, creates a huge, huge amount of confusion. So if you're starting out your program, you do want to be very, very clear on communicating and understanding, who am I communicating to? What is it that they need to hear to feel convinced and to feel confident in my program, and to understand my level of competence as a leader and my level of both competence and confidence in my program and in the work that I do. Who is it that I can really build up excitement and hype to? And that's the kids. Of course, when they get excited about something, they're going to go home. They're going to tell their parents, oh my goodness, mama, everybody's signing up for this. Please, I got to get my name on the list. Or you're creating urgency. If you register for this program by this particular date, you get da 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 da. We're creating excitement. We're creating urgency. And then you're also thinking about, how am I consistently sharing that message? So really thinking about like a commercial that you see online all day. The food commercials do it for me. Like if I'm at home and I'm hungry and I see that commercial about the fourth time, I'm grabbing my purse, I'm grabbing the car keys. It's time to go get something to eat, because they've convinced me that this is what I need to, to curb my hunger pains for the day, because they've given the same consistent message. They've convinced me that this is what I need to do. And it's the same for your youth business. What are you guys doing that is consistently driving people either to your website? What information are you sharing? How are you educating your community? All of those things are part of the strategy that is needed for your youth program to be successful. And trust me, like I said, it took me years. Really the first, I would say about 3.5 years, I struggled. Number one, because youth programming is not a huge industry. We have huge industry programs that just about everybody knows about: Boys and Girls Club, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girls Inc., Junior Achievement is another one. 4-H Club, Golden Key Society. Those top organizations that you can find anywhere in any state, in any community. Those are the things that kind of run a lot of the youth programming sector. But then they're not really sharing out, because most of those founders are deceased, how they got started. What was your path? We hear little snips and bits of their stories, but as the founders of organizations, it's very hard to get access to that good information. So I created this class as a way to be able to share with founders specifically how to move from struggling to strategy. Number two, I was a teacher, and I was overly confident in my abilities to teach. And in my mind, I felt like, well, if I can teach in a classroom, I can teach in the community on Saturday, or I can teach in the after school program. It's the same thing, right? Wrong. It is not the same thing. Teaching is a skill. Yes, teaching does have a certain skill set, because we all know as teachers, we're not just teachers. We're the counselor, we're the nurse, we're the mediators for fights and everything else that can break out in your classroom. There's so much that goes on during an academic day. And as a teacher, you do kind of feel like, well, I'm doing it all anyway. So you take that mentality with you into your business. I can do it all anyway. And then we end up coming into a business, without any leadership skills, because we're focusing on our ability to teach, not our ability to lead. And then we have too many dang hats on our head, and we feel overwhelmed. And you know, when you have on every single hat, you are the marketing department, you're the volunteer department, you're the communications and PR department, you are executive leadership, and you are the staff, and you are there's too many hats. There's too many hats. You're going to get burnt out, and you're not doing all of them well. And even if you are the one person that kind of is a visionary, the one that gets this thing off the ground, you got to be able to see your business from all of those hats. But you don't have to have on all of those hats. So I focus in on the Call to Cultivate Masterclass deeply on learning how to transition from a team of one into learning how to delegate. And as a leader, that's extremely hard to do, especially when this is your baby. This is that program. You found it. You went through the process of the paperwork. You went through the process of identifying the site and creating the mission and the vision. And you did this. You feel very, very much so attached to that project. And sometimes it's extremely hard to pull yourself back from it and look at it from a different set of eyes and say, how can I enhance this? How can I make this better? What does this look like when it's really operating at its best? And then start to take those, actionable steps. So in the program, you also learn how to move from a teacher to a leader, how to transition from that team of one, and how to move from struggling to strategy. Call to Cultivate is for you if you want to do this thing right from the get-go. There are so many mistakes, so many thousands of dollars that I have wasted, so much time, so much gas, so much stress, so much energy of staying up all night because you're trained, you'll sleep when you're dead. If you really want to go after your dreams, you'll stay up all night working on them. Another common myth, no, boo, you need rest. You need rest because in your rest and in your quiet time and in your meditation, you have time to actually think. You have time to make sense of your business. You have time to read and research. There's no rush for your business, but sometimes entrepreneurs are in such a rush to get this thing off the ground or to get away from their 9-to-5 or their job or whatever it is that you're trying to quote unquote escape from, or just actively see happen in the world. So there's a difference between an adrenaline rush or a rush of energy and excitement that you have for your business, and it's a slippery slope straight into stress by just doing that whole stay up all night. You got to grind till you make it. Hustle. No. Your body needs rest. Your mind needs rest. You need time for reflection. You need time to think so that you can make sense of the work that you're doing and that you can be refreshed when you get out in front of people and you can do your job with confidence and with ease. Again, thousands of dollars wasted. Thousands of hours wasted, weekends wasted, time away from my own family. And right now I'm a soon to be mom of 6. So if I can sit down and find a time to actively focusing on my business. Even when I was teaching, I knew how to make that schedule in between, professional development and back to school night. And we have this such and such a festival at the school. I know your school commitments and your job commitments can be overwhelming at times, but there is a beautiful balance that can be created between full-time employment and entrepreneurship in a solid transition plan, so that you're just not out there on your own feeling like, now I'm here by myself, I'm at home, I'm doing what I want to do, but now I have absolutely no support. The Call to Cultivate Masterclass is your support system. You are with people who are equally as passionate about working with the youth in your community and uplifting and building up the next generation of leaders. And we need more and more people to do this. I created the Girls Mentoring Collaborative, and everyone asks me, why are you collaborating with other people that are doing the exact same work that you're doing in the exact same area where you're serving? You're crazy. You can't share all your secrets. And that's the difference between an entrepreneur and a leader, because a leader is interested in collaborating with other people, in sharing and having a meeting of the minds and learning new information and learning what's working and what's not working. And we understand that there's enough piece of this pie for all of us to get a slice. And it's not that you have some kind of special secret. It's things that you've just spent time and research learning that you want to share or kick back out. And so that's what this program is. That's what anything I do revolves around, is understanding that this is my spiritual gift, is teaching. I read, I research, I'm extremely resourceful. And when somebody comes to me with a problem, I have no problem sharing whatever the solution is if I know what it is. And if it's something that I don't know, I'll say, guess what? Let me get back to you on that. I need to research it a little bit, because I believe in giving people factual information. We have so many myths, especially when it comes around young people and programs and working with schools and operating nonprofits, and it messes people up because they simply don't want to take the time to learn it for themselves. They want to know, what is my get rich quick scheme? How can I make the money? How can I get to several income streams? What can I do to make this thing happen quickly? What's your secret sauce for getting a check? What's your secret sauce for getting the meeting? What's your secret sauce for getting the that? And they want to rush through it. The Call to Cultivate Masterclass is 12 weeks. During those 12 weeks, I drip content to you, and we focused in on whatever that topic is for the week. You don't get access to this entire program. Why? Because I don't want you to sit here and look at everything and then think, oh, okay, well, on week 1, we're just focusing in on the fundamentals and getting clarity of vision. But I really came to this program because I want to focus in on what we're doing on week 7, which is promo and partnerships. I don't want you focusing in on week 7. Your focus is what's already got you fumbling and what's got you confused. We get very, very, very focused, and putting that focus in order and putting it in place is what's going to take you from struggling to strategy. A lot of people often say, well, where do I start first? I don't understand where I'm supposed to start. You are supposed to start with getting clarity of your vision for yourself. So if I come to you and I say, hey, what is it exactly that you want to do? You have at least a 1 to 2 sentence answer that you can give me. And most people do not. It starts off with, well, I think I want to serve, I want to. I think I want to serve people in my community, maybe at the local community center. After school, I can maybe do like a little bit of tutoring and like a little bit of teaching entrepreneurship, but I kind of also want to focus in on financial literacy for kids. And I think I maybe also want to kind of do something around STEM, but I'm also really good at teaching reading. So I don't really know what I want to do. And it's like you're trying to do 50 million things at once with these kids. What's that one thing that you do well? Get to that. And then don't start with I think I want to. Narrow it down. What do you want to do? So we get very, very, very specific. And the beautiful thing about the Call to Cultivate Masterclass is I use a program in a community that will allow you to interact with me. Like I said, first and foremost, I'm a teacher. So giving critical feedback, consistent feedback, constant feedback is important to me as a learner. So that's what I give to all of the students who come through this master class. You will not get information from me, and I will not send you off to create something and then you never hear from me again. That's a no-go for me in my book. What is the point of that? How are you learning from me by me telling you to go ahead and make a need statement, because you're going to need that information later when you're going to go request donors. And then you go make the need statement. You then have questions about what it is that you're doing, but you can't get any of the assistance that you need because I'm leaving you out there on your own. That's not what we do in the master class. The master class provides a forum for you to not only share your work specifically with me, you will get feedback from me either in the form of a video, an audio, or just a message. We can kind of message each other back and forth. But then you also have this great space to share with other people that are in the program as well. So you can say, here's what I did for mine, or here's a great resource that I found that might be helpful for you too. Because guess what? People in the class have different areas that they're focusing in on. You may be focusing in on leadership for boys and girls, while somebody else is focusing in on work development skills for boys. So don't feel ever that you have to say, well, I found the secret sauce, I got it, and keep it to yourself, because someone very much so is looking for that exact same resource. And you can alleviate a lot of time. When I tell you I give you a wealth of information, this program is already ridiculously priced. It's so cheap compared to the wealth of knowledge and information that you will leave with in the Call to Cultivate Masterclass. You can spend a lot of time out here like I have. I told you those 3.5 years I wasted was followed by 3.5 more years of actually getting professional development, investing in coaching, investing in books, reading materials, articles, research, journals. It was like I was going through college all over again, because I was serious and dedicated to making myself the very best that I can be. I never wanted to get caught out there in the community or caught out there anywhere fumbling over sentences, fumbling about my program, because my mission is important to me. You cannot come into Leading Ladies of Legacy and play with my mission. Everybody knows that. The work that I'm doing, I take it seriously. As an African American woman, so many of our businesses don't succeed because we don't take professionalism, professional development, growth, and coaching seriously. We want that pot for ourselves, and once we got it, we put it in our fridge, we close it up, and don't ever tell anybody else that we have it. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. Nothing good comes from that. So please, if you want to take this investment seriously, which I hope that you do, the Call to Cultivate Masterclass is for you. I'm confident of that. And having over 10 plus years in the education field, I'm well aware of what needs to happen when you walk into a school, what keywords administrators, counselors, teachers, people are looking to hear, what keywords parents are looking to hear. And as a parent of 6, I know when I'm being fluffed by people who hand me flyers and say, sign your baby up for this program. And I know when something is done in excellence. I can tell when I speak to the leader. So knowing that and taking all these various perspectives of my life, I've jumbled everything up in this Call to Cultivate Masterclass. Honestly, you are going to go through every aspect of your program, and at the end of that 12 weeks, you are going to have a document that states everything: how you're funding your program, how you're fundraising. That means getting together the people that's going to help you run that program, how you're evaluating your program, how you're marketing your program, how are you securing partnerships, how are you creating a buzz about your program. If you're interested in developing your own curriculum, we discuss courses and contents and curriculum for your program. We'll discuss where you're going to meet, how much is that going to cost, and is there an opportunity there for you to have that sponsored by whoever owns that space. We're going to talk about the need statement, what you're offering, how you're attracting donors. We're getting very, very clear on the fundamentals of the program. What is it that you even want to do? Is there really a need for that, or is that just something that you love to do? And that's a big question that we have to get answered. Sometimes people are very passionate about something and they're very gung-ho and just focusing in on, this is what I like, and that's it. But nobody really has a need for that in your community, or it's already being done. And maybe you should just, partner up with an organization that's already hosting something like that. But we really focus in on that need, because I guarantee you there's something that you're overlooking and that your community is in desperate need of. People tell me all the time, well, is there really a need for a girls mentoring program? Absolutely. There's always a need for any youth mentoring program, because all of our kids are never fully serviced in any one community. There's always something for them to learn. So to me, this is a industry that's wide open, and that I'm looking for advantageous, ambitious people who are ready to leap, but who are also extremely focused and dedicated to their mission and vision for their organization and their programs, and really want to get this thing started and started strong. Not only when you join this course will you get access to the Masterclass, but you'll get access for 30 days to the Call to Cultivate community. And the Call to Cultivate community has a plethora of training videos, resources that you will need to continue to work on your business. My cultivators are my people who lead and enrich and empower the lives of other people. So that's my terminology. Find your own. But it's also the place and the space online where you can connect with other like-minded people that are interested in growing and in developing and sharing. That is always something that I look for, is where the people who want to give and give wholeheartedly and love to see other people win, because that's the community that I want to be a part of. So you really get some extremely great bonuses when you join the Call to Cultivate Masterclass. Not only do you get the Masterclass itself, which again lasts for 12 weeks in that beautiful online space, you will also have access to, for 30 days only, and then after that you can decide whether that community is for you. You can join the Call to Cultivate community, but for 30 days you just get an opportunity to test it out and see if the community is for you. And then you also have access to those additional trainings and resources. When you register now for the Call to Cultivate program, you will get 3 additional bonus lessons included on top of those 12-week training lessons. And then you also get access to 3 live Q&A coaching calls with me. And that's going to include your program review and live critiques. So sometimes we're together on the phone, actively talking about things, asking questions where you can hear from everybody, and I can do a live critique for you. But then you also get this one-on-one time with me where you're saying, here's the work that I've done, here's what I have questions about, or how does this sound, or I'm really stuck here and I really need extra assistance. So getting that program review in and of itself, nobody really gets my one-on-one time right now, because like I said, I'm really focused in on my family. So being able to get those program reviews is extremely valuable, to just bounce ideas off of somebody who has been there, done that, and is still actively involved in doing this work. Extremely valuable information. You also would get step-by-step workbooks and templates. So let's say that we are focusing in on the week of partnerships. There's a questionnaire that I have and a spreadsheet that I use to reach out to community partners. So those are examples of some of the templates that you'll get, but there's a ton of templates that would just maximize your time and help you get straight to the heart of what you're doing. And again, 30-day access to the Call to Cultivate community. So I don't know exactly why you're still listening and not going over to reginacoley.com/called-to-cultivate. And if you go onto the website anyway, it's splashed all over my website on how to get enrolled for this course, because it's one that I have poured my heart and soul into so that you can win. Because when you look good, you guys make me look good. Okay. And it's a huge part of the work that I want to see happen in the world is that we are developing stronger communities. We are developing stronger families, and we are helping our kids get actively engaged in this thinking process of developing stronger futures earlier on in life. Life is challenging. Life is hard enough as it is. But when we provide this structure and support for the kids in our communities, we really are strengthening communities everywhere. So if you're ready to jump into this leadership position with the gusto that I know that you already have, I cannot wait to see your registration form and for you to jump into this community forum. If you have any questions whatsoever before you register for this program, or if there's something that I didn't cover or something that you just need clarity on, when you go to the reginacoley.com website, if you look over to the right, there is a call me tab that's great. You can leave a voice message for me and I can reach back out to you with any questions or clarity that I can provide for you. It's the best way to get involved. Or if you have questions a little bit that require some more in-depth conversation, you can sign up for one of my clarity calls by going to reginacoley.com/clarity-calls. Sign up, get on my schedule. I would love to chat with you. All those calls last about 15 minutes. So I would like to answer anything that I can for you regarding registration. Like I said, I'm here, I'm available, and my mission is to help you. All right. See you guys inside the Call to Cultivate community. Bye.